Good morning, it's me again, Inspirational post by Leverson. This morning, what I want to talk about, about your behaviour. And what I mean by your behaviour is, just because we come from a certain background, it doesn't mean to say that we have to behave in a way that everybody perceives that we should behave. It doesn't mean to say that just because we speak a certain way, that our behaviour should reflect the way that we speak. So certain people think. And it is about how we see ourselves for the better. Not for the worst, but for the better. Because why is it that you'll see that if you look at movies, if you look at the media, if you look at papers, if you look at everything else really that's out there to do with anybody that comes from sort of a humble, I'll call it, more of a humble background than a poor background, always seen in a light of where we can't hold a conversation, we're just drunk and falling down all the time, all we want to do is fight, and our behaviour is base, where it's very low. But that isn't everybody in general. I've been loud, I've been drunk, I've fallen over, I've fought, but then it was a time of my awakening to say, this is where now I have to change. I have to build myself up so that I see myself for the best way, and I put myself in the best position possible for me, not to look and sound and be a letdown to myself, because I know that there is so much that I have to offer. But if I don't think about my behaviour, how can I help anybody else change the way that they see themselves if they're coming from the same background as me and they don't see that I haven't changed for the better? There is, if you look now on, I'll give you for instance, if we look now at, say, this or social media, which this is, and most of the things that you're going to see on there, it's to make you laugh. Nothing wrong with laughing, but to the expense of somebody else. Nothing that's really learning you anything. Nothing apart from basically looking at somebody else's misfortune and thinking that that's all right. No, I'm not, as I said yesterday, there's nothing wrong with not taking yourself too seriously and laughing at yourself, but it seems like we're going to a place of where we have to be laughing at everybody else for a reason of no reason, just to make a fool of somebody else. But what a complete waste of time that is. And then we're looking at where fighting has got one of the top views on this, but what are you learning from that? Bad behaviour is sort of glorified. It's great, but if you've got somebody doing absolutely something fantastic and superb and really changing people and changing people's lives and changing people's opinions, really that doesn't really get too much play at all. Because I've looked through and I've seen views on certain things and likes and all this sort of thing, and it's strange to me. Well, it isn't strange, no, because there's obviously there's a market for that, and it's how it's marketed. And the biggest shame is that we sometimes get lost in that, and we can't see the harm that it's causing. Why should we have to? Because that's somebody's son, it's somebody's daughter that's out there making a fool of themselves for likes, or trying to make a fool of somebody else for likes, going up and frightening people and slapping people in the face and pulling people's trousers down and pulling skirts up. It's base thinking. It's the lowest form of thinking that there is, because there isn't too much thinking about that at all. Because no, it's like me just standing up now and just pulling my trousers down, and I guaranteed because of that I would get thousands and hundreds of likes and views. Well, probably not likes, but people want to see that sort of thing. For me, I don't know why. Is it shock value? I don't think it was shocking to see a man's privates or a woman's privates, because that's part of human nature. But because it's done in a certain way, for trying and get shock value, that's what people are sort of gravitating towards, instead of building themselves up to learn something, to invest in themselves. And we as people,